Creative! What's up? It's Ben Sheffield here with Micah Hartzog. Call me Creative.
Yep. Welcome back.
What episode is this?
7, I think.
Have we gotten that
We
far?
seem to be taking month-long breaks in between episodes.
Not this last one. Not this last one.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Oh, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I said that. Remember, I think I remember distinctly in the last episode.
It was like, we just got back from Thanksgiving. It was good.
And I think we're like, oh man, we're going to get back to this like on the regular, and we haven't, so.
Something happened. Didn't you get sick again after that or something?
No, I just think we both just
busy
doing stuff, working jobs, having careers and whatnot. I mean, at least I was. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I don't have a career. I have a job. It's
Yeah.
not different. Just kidding. Just kidding. Love my job. If my boss is watching. Love it.
If you're watching this, if you're seeing this like in a clip right now, Ben and I are both hunched over. We have terrible posture.
Yeah, this is going to be hopefully maybe on YouTube.
And
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe not.
Maybe
We'll
just
see.
clips of this on.
We seem to make a lot of promises that are not.
This is the
kept.
first time we tried to film it not on the phone. So we'll see if we like
We
this
actually
more.
like dipped into our pockets and used our actual like professional camera gear
Yeah.
with all of our great lighting setup and whatnot. So
yeah.
hopefully it's not overexposed.
I don't know what it looks like. This is more of a Micah setup. I really just sat here while you did it. So hopefully,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look bad from here, but it's not
So
going to
we'll
be.
see.
It's not going to be great.
But
I
if
mean,
you're listening, it doesn't matter.
yeah. I mean, next time we get like a hair light coming in from back here.
Right. I'll bring my lighting kit. I'll bring a softbox and everything next time.
So how's it been going though with work?
It's Christmas time, so
Busy.
yeah.
I've been busy. I worked 7 days this week.
Yeah. That
Not
seems
full
like,
days. Not full days, but
but that seems like a normal for you at this point.
it's not that normal. I mean, I don't like that normal. It's been normal this Christmas time.
Yeah.
It has been, just because we've had so many events and things. On the weekends, I just have to go in for like a few hours. But there's just, even when I go into work for like 2 hours, it still feels like I really worked today. I don't know why. It's just that maybe because I'm like 25 minutes away from work and I have to dress for work.
Right.
And so it just feels like, oh, like I'm actually having to go into work today and like do the whole thing. I get to come home pretty early. My dog is drinking water
He's
right
just sloshing on that water right now.
now.
Go ahead and put your mic down there and get
In
some.
between like cable. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, of course he stops.
He was
The
like,
second you put your mic
he's
down
like,
there. Get that out of my face.
yeah, he doesn't like the publicity. But
But is Christmas
yeah.
typically has that been a busy I mean, you're kind of new in this job.
Yeah, this
so.
is my first time I've done Christmas for this hotel, but they have a Christmas market, as you know. So a lot of stuff to do with the Christmas market and video, photo stuff. And then, I don't know, a lot of other events and things that I feel like we've just missed. And it's like they might be wrapping up for the year or something. So
Yeah.
you need to go ahead and try to get this event, if you don't have any video of it, before it quits for a while or whatever.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get sad for a second. Like a couple weeks ago, I don't know what it was. My eyes were bothering me real bad. And I don't have blue light glasses or anything. So like everyday editing was just awful. But I had so much trouble just getting out of bed to go to work, more than I typically do. Because I usually, take as much time sleeping as possible before. I played this game in college, and now I play it as a graduated, like, grown adult.
Yeah.
It's a game called How Long Can I Sleep Without Getting Fired? And when I was in college, it was how long can I sleep before I have to go to class?
Yeah.
And as you know, I commuted to college. So I drove an hour there and an hour back every day.
Yeah.
So it was always, I was really just testing fate to see how long I could sleep in before I had to, like,
Not
roll out
while
of
you're
bed.
driving on the way in.
No.
I was going to see how long I could, by testing to see how long I could sleep while I'm getting to school.
I got real bold with, later on.
I was asleep for a whole 45 minutes on the hour drive.
Some of that time I might have been, I looked up and I was like, whoa, how did I end up here?
Yeah. I think my thing with counting work on the weekends and it feeling like work is the dressing for work, though. I think if I just showed up in like sweatpants and a t-shirt on a Saturday, I wouldn't really feel like I was at work, and I'd feel fine. There's something about putting on the slacks and like the tucking in and the dress shoes that like really puts me in like a kind of a bummer mindset, I feel like. Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes it's like, sometimes you feel a little classy. I did in the beginning when I first started the job, because I was like, oh,
like
yeah.
professional.
I'm professional. And now it's like, on the weekends, I would like to put on some Just jeans, maybe. Just at least jeans, you know.
I'm kind of in the opposite because we kind of wear whatever.
Yeah.
And
You're pretty lax.
I have to kind of I've started wearing collared shirts more to make it feel like I have a real job.
Yeah, okay. To put yourself in that mindset that you're at work.
Yeah. Because if not, like usually on Fridays I'm pretty casual.
I'm talking specifically though more weekend work, I guess.
Right.
I would like to dress casual because then it wouldn't feel so bad because I'm working Monday through Friday full days. So it's like with those times I come in on the weekend, I just want to be, at least if I got to come in on the weekend, let me be just chill about it.
Usually if I'm there on the weekend, we're not open or anything. So
yeah,
I just roll in
wearing whatever.
Yeah. For God and everyone else to see.
Yeah.
So I just show up and
mostly God.
Mostly just God, because no one else sees me.
I guess that's true.
But I roll in there and, whatever.
Yeah.
Some of the most hideous, which I don't dress well to begin with, but it
kind of begs the question, do you think that dressing for the job or dressing for work, do you think it enhances your performance? Because I would say this, because of what we do as videographers, there's days I was doing an art show thing the other night. I was filming this art show at the hotel, competition show, whatever. And I was wearing like a blazer and button ups. I was a little more classy than normal, just hair. So I was wearing like a coat. And I felt a little hindered in my performance as a videographer, just like literally physically hindered, like my elbows and, the coat, like having to hold this heavy camera. And like, I was like, I would have really like just let it wear a long sleeve, like shirt, like a t-shirt. And it would be, just give me like black, like crew shirt or something and let me walk around. Cause I would be a lot more comfortable, having to do like the physical, like filming of things,
Right. I mean, I think if you're working with clients, you gotta be, somewhat presentable in terms of like how it affects your actual job performance. I don't know. Sometimes I think if I dress like more lackadaisical and stuff. I butchered that word, by the way.
Is it laxa or is it lackadaisical?
You know what?
Lackadaisical?
I'm gonna leave it. We'll let the fans decide. We'll let the fan decide.
Okay. The fan won.
So, I don't know. I think there's been times where like, I don't know, maybe it's just a psychological thing, but like I dress like more relaxed, and then in my video skills slack because like you forget things. I don't know. I feel like when I'm more dressed up, it's like I feel like I have to like execute because I'm like look like a professional. But like, yeah.
It's a little bit of added discipline, and it gets you in a more disciplined mindset. Maybe I would say like the physical thing. Sometimes I would like to be more comfortable when I'm actually videoing, but maybe you're right. I think maybe editing it's a different story, and so because you're just sitting at a computer, it's like you can dress a little nicer and not like feel like it's stopping you, and maybe put you in that more business mind or like work mind that like I'm at work, got my nice little collared shirt on. I'm clocked in.
Yeah.
Instead of just like goofing. If I showed up in a hoodie and sweatpants and like I would just want to like fall asleep.
That's most Fridays for me.
Yeah.
But I'm usually not there on a full day on a Friday anyway because I usually get stuff done pretty, early in advance. So
my first job I was like that. I would wear like sweatpants to work and stuff. And I think like everybody was like too nice to me to like want to say like, dude, pick up the slack. And there was one time I didn't know that my boss was he told me, but I was so bad with like writing anything down back then I'm a little better now, but I do it all on phone. I write down everything like on my calendar now for things like that. But my boss had a speaking engagement and I was to film him, and I wore gray sweatpants that day to work, and he was like, you're filming this speech of me today. And I was like, oh. And I had to roll up to the speech, and I'm the guy in like sweatpants and sneakers filming him from the back, and it looked from the back of the room, and it looked pretty sad. I'm sure he was a little embarrassed. Let me tag along.
I'm sure that wasn't the most embarrassing thing about you about that job and you as a person.
That wasn't everything.
Yeah. There were probably sweatpants were the least of your concerns.
Yeah, maybe so. But it does maybe prepare you for next time. I stopped wearing sweatpants to work, I think, after that incident because I just felt embarrassed.
I don't think it affects my ability to perform though, especially editing. If you're going to edit, during the summer, I wore shorts, but I wore like
I wore gym shorts like during COVID, like the whole summer.
Yeah, but I mean, like during part of the summer, I wore these shorts that were like they weren't chubbies. They were longer than chubbies.
Yeah.
But like
shorty shorts.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were like 5 or 6 inch inseams, whatever.
Yeah.
Sitting down all day editing and in a desk is not. They are not built for it. So gym shorts for sure.
Because you're.
No. I have to cut that now. I had to cut that.
You don't?
Yes, I do. I just bleeped it, obviously.
Oh.
Wow. You guys do not want to know what Ben just said.
No, man.
It seems like every episode we have to. It's getting more and more censored as we go.
I just thought, Do
you think that YouTube's going to allow this type of content to go?
Yeah. Have you seen the stuff they push through? They promote? Come on, we got to be more edgy.
Speaking of content, I was just telling Ben earlier about how. So I sent you a link to this YouTube video a couple weeks ago, where the guy does like different Disney parks and like talks about like the history of them and like why they. And
I'd watched them before that too. Just different park stuff.
So like, there's one where he does like it's literally an 1.5 hour long documentary about the like little tagline theme song,
the Disney Channel, channel theme song.
Your musical. Can you do the?
It goes da 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 da.
And it literally was an 1.5 hour long documentary. About
just about those 4 notes.
That.
Yeah. Well, it was specifically about who wrote it. Him trying to find out who composed that little jingle.
It was a lot harder to find than.
It's hard to pinpoint. Yeah.
Anyway, great documentary. It's Defunct Land. If you want to go look it up, it was really good.
I think it's the history of the Disney Channel theme song or something like that.
Really, really well done. Really well produced.
I really liked it
all the way around. But what I was saying is, for content like that, there's another channel I came across this past week where, I kid you not, I'm a 24-year-old grown man, and I spent 3.5 hours watching a complete series breakdown of the Wizards of Waverly Place. And
like just breaking down the concept of the show, or
pretty much, and like
or about like
plot holes. Okay. I mean, a mix. It's literally everything. He didn't go episode by episode, but it was like important episodes and like.
Was it in the same vein as the Defunct Land thing, or a little different?
Somewhat. It was more of like
more just using the footage from the show. He wasn't filming, so.
Right. So it was interesting, and he would intercut like between like he would show like the Disney Channel like the in between where the interstitials, that part, and like you saw how it progressed like from the series pilot all the way till the series finale. Anyway, I just think it's and you're in this world where content is like push as fast. No one has attention spans. Yeah. But I sat there for 3 hours. Now I was doing other things.
You're kind of listening to it like a podcast.
It was a little bit more. I had other things going on I was listening to, but I think it's just super interesting that
the Disney one I watched, but I watched it in like 3-4 days probably. I just like watched a little bit of it because I wanted to watch that one. Sorry, I think I just smacked the microphone.
Nice.
I wanted to watch it like because there was a lot of visuals in that were kind of important. I didn't want to just listen to it. But I do the same thing as you. Sometimes I'll just play a YouTube video like that. And at least that one it probably felt a little more like a podcast in the way that was being told.
Yeah, because I've got my phone, I've got my AirPods in because I'm rich. And
pros?
No, like
not that rich.
They were actually given to me, so I'm not that rich at all.
I have the normal ones too.
I have the normal ones. Hey man,
it's okay. Whatever.
When you're working in video, you can. Whatever.
But I bought this new watch, and I could sell it. Please
let Ben tell you about his watch that he spent way too much money on. That
it's not even much money. It's a super cheap watch. It's $200, but I could sell it for double what I paid for it. It's a John Mayer Hodinkee collab, and it's limited edition.
Before we recorded, Ben spent a solid 15-20 minutes trying to get the time set on it.
And I have perfect time on it. Right now it's 11:52 and 11:53 in 3 seconds. 9.
But he matched it to his.
Oh, that was perfect. I matched it to my microwave. So if my microwave's off, then this is off. So hopefully the microwave is going on that world clock, baby.
Right.
It's that. What is it like?
Dog, is your microwave
space clock?
World Wide Web? That's crazy. Anyway,
but yes, back to your point that like the content was super long, but you were still engaged.
I was still engaged.
Yeah.
But then meanwhile, like I've got so now on YouTube. Used to, when you were on the YouTube app, you couldn't like go into multi-windows.
Yeah.
You could, once you left the app, it wouldn't play. There was like a multiplayer.
Right.
Now you can on some videos if they're not like set up for like, if it's not like kids
if it's
content,
not for children,
kids content, you can't do that.
You can't do the window.
Most like new content you can. Yep. So if this tells you how overstimulated I am,
this guy's got like 3 things going on. I do the same thing. I can't walk my dog now without having a podcast
it's
playing.
Ridiculous. I'm sitting at my table playing video games.
Oh no.
Playing a video game while it was NCAA football.
Close.
While I got this thing on my multiplayer, while I'm scrolling through Instagram Reels, sending them to Ben, while also kind of like half playing this video game, and my computer's also open because I was working on like a work thing, all at one time.
Yeah, and you wonder why you have anxiety.
Legit. And I wonder why I have trouble sleeping at night. Yeah,
your brain is just trying to keep up with so much. I find myself doing stuff like that, and I have to calm myself down. I'm like, okay, I need to stop doing this because I can't make a sandwich for dinner without having the podcast playing or something. And it's like, I could just do this in silence. I don't have to like be trying to listen to a podcast while doing this other thing. But it does make the mundane and so much better. Those silent moments, I guess living alone.
It's better if you have like content that's going to like enhance your life.
Yes.
Like I've listened to audiobooks and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
So
that'd probably be better.
And,
at least you're learning something. I'm not listening to celebrities just bicker on a podcast.
Well, that's what I have.
That's what I do,
Right.
I just listen to people just like talk about meaningless stuff.
Well, he listens to John Mayer talk about watches and...
I'm listening to the Pod Meets World podcast right now, the Boy Meets World rewatch podcast. So
you're really fully invested in this thing.
Well, I started rewatching Boy Meets World, the 90s sitcom, when they launched this rewatch podcast, and they just finished season 1, and I finished the entire show. And so it's going to be like 3 years before they finish the entire show on the rewatch. So I got way ahead of the podcast. But anyways, one thing I do want to add to your point about the long form content, can you imagine working for a company though? You work for a church, I'm working for a hotel, just putting out a 3-hour video as like marketing collateral?
I couldn't fathom having to edit something that was 3 hours long.
It would have to be something you've been working on for like a year in our field, because we're doing so much stuff that's like immediate, so much 30-second stuff that just takes up. Because there's videos that I want to make where it's like it gets pushed back 3 months because I don't have time to do it because they keep throwing these current event things on me and these other videos they want done. Yeah, if you had a 3-hour thing, you would have to just work on that on the side for like 2 years or something,
But I was listening to something the other day, and tell me, I don't know how you edit specifically.
Just a documentary about the history of your church, just from the very beginning.
No, we don't have no, we're not doing that. I'm putting in my 2 weeks before we start making that.
You hunt down all the paperwork.
Yeah, no, I know where all the paperwork is. I choose not to go and mess with it.
I choose not to know the history.
I choose not to know the history, and you should too. Now you threw me off. I had a whole statement, and you interrupted me. And nothing.
Did I?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just didn't have a fully.
Well, we're talking about doing it for marketing, and you said you saw somebody doing a 3-hour timeline or something because you couldn't imagine editing something that was 3 hours.
Yeah, I just don't. I saw like the best way to do it is you don't edit like as a creative. I'm
sorry for interrupting, by the way. Keep going.
Anyway, so like when you're cutting, like when you first get into video, when you start cutting stuff and you know how to edit, you get real caught up in the fact of like, oh man, like I want to make this as like this little part best possible. So you'll do like the first cut, and then you'll do all your audio and your effects, and you'll make that little, and you don't build out a storyline. So it actually takes you way longer to get things done because it ends up not being cohesive and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I've learned, like, I guess you would apply the same thing to like a 3-hour thing, is you work on your story with just all your A footage. So do all of that editing, get done. Then bring in your B footage. So all your B-roll stuff to overlap, voiceover, that type of thing. Then you start adding your effects, titles, and then finish out with some like music and audio bed type stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the only way I can think you can even do 3 hours.
The longest I've done is 20 minutes, or 20-something minute documentary. And I approached it the same way, is that I shot all these interviews and I just laid out the interviews to tell the story. So, I mean, that's how I do any like documentaries that I've done. And 20-something minutes, I think, is my max, but I did a couple that are around 20 minutes. And so really just getting all the interviews together and telling the story through the interviews, no B-roll or anything. I just put all the interviews out and tell the story as best I can, clip them together from multiple people. And then I go through and put the B-roll stuff. And I leave gaps where I'm like, this is probably just going to be like a segment.
Yeah.
This is going to be a segment, no interview. Like, because they just talked about this thing, and then I'll just have this thing here. There's a gap. Then it goes to the next thing. So I just lay all that out, and then I put the B-roll in. So it's a similar sort of situation, putting the A footage first to tell the story. And in a documentary, that A footage is typically the interviews, because that's what's pushing your story along.
Right. At least the audio from your A footage.
Yeah. I mean, most documentaries are, it's interviews are what's pushing the people talking,
But when we were in school, they didn't want you to use a ton of A footage in what you, like, the projects you submitted. Like the audio, yeah, but like...
Yeah, like if you shot a documentary, it needed to be a lot of stuff covering up those interviews.
Right. Only like 1/3 of your entire
could just
video
be a talking head.
Could be talking head. Because people would just play, believe it or not, lazy college students, and I would be one of those people, is they would just play like a talking head, like one shot, headshot type thing, and it went on, and it wasn't interesting, it wasn't visually appealing or anything, so
yeah.
I don't know. It's just those little, you pick up on those little things, like you start applying it in time management. I think we're also editing stuff at such a pace where if you don't have a system, then you're going to die. Like, I have a system of, I get on my A-roll. I kind of follow that similar thing for any type of video I'm cutting.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's just because at the pace you're working, if you don't have a system, if you just try to make everything as you go, it's not going to be good for you.
Well, I shoot so much stuff now for my job that isn't A footage or B footage. I mean, I guess all of it's A footage, because it's just like, it's a video comprised. Is comprised a word? Mm-hmm. It's comprised. It's a video solely comprised by A footage. There's no like B footage. It is just B-roll. The entire thing is just B-roll, and it's just told
I think composed
through music.
The word that you were...
Is it comprised? Something is comprised? Fully comprised?
I don't think that we're the two most intelligent people that should be debating.
Hold on, I'm Googling. Hold on, I'm Googling the word comprised. Consist of, to be made of, which is what I was using it.
Yeah, okay.
The country comprises 20 states. Well, that's not... That's not our country.
See, that's how the internet rolls. You got one clear answer and the other one you were like, oh.
It's comprised. So that's that was right. Comprised of B-roll. You know what I mean? The B-roll and the A-roll, the whole thing is just a B-roll video. And that's a lot of the stuff you do for social media promo. It's like, you don't even have interviews. It's just like footage of the thing to music. Right. It lasts 30 seconds to a minute, and that's it. It's exciting and whatever. I always like doing interview stuff, but I will say that a lot of times, because of the way social media is going and people are watching social media, if you're scrolling Instagram and you see a talking head, or you're not even listening a lot of times anyways, if you don't see the talking head. But if you see a talking head, like an interview, you're like, and you keep scrolling because you don't want to watch a commercial.
Can I tell you, it feels like a guilty thing that I've been doing here recently?
You've been watching commercials, haven't you?
No.
For fun.
Get help, please. There's a YouTube ad, and you may have seen this. I'm gonna feel real bad.
Is it about the poop?
No.
Oh, that one guy that's like, you want to get the poop out of your body? All that toxic poop.
Yeah, I have.
Have you seen him?
Yeah. Finally, I'm done with political ads. We've gotten past political ads.
Yeah, and I just get the poop guy. He's always talking about poop.
I get one for St. Jude's Kids Hospital.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
But the video they do is like...
And the kid they use looks just like me. Sorry.
I've got to comprise myself now. No, it's like right. It starts. It's like it fades from black, and the audio doesn't kick in, and it like fades in on this kid who's like smiling. But it's, after 5 seconds you can skip the ad. but he doesn't, like, the voiceover doesn't start like 4 seconds in, and I've skipped it every single time, and I feel a little bit guilty, but I shouldn't, because they did a poor job on their content.
They left too much black in the beginning.
They left too much space at the beginning. Like,
okay.
it very much, like, they didn't think about where it was going to be advertised. It's good for like a TV commercial, I think.
Because it's coming from black. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And it takes a while for the audio and like all the video stuff to actually kick in. So by the time you're able to skip it, it's just starting. It's like, I have no vested interest in it.
The kid's just like about to say something and you skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a picture of a child, and then there's voiceover.
Okay.
But like, it slowly just like zooms in on this kid. So like, if you're not really paying attention, you're just like, okay, skip. I think you just, you got to be forward thinking about that. Don't just.
I do think even when I do use an interview on social media video or something, I don't start with the talking head. I always put like the B-roll stuff first, and then if it gets to the talking head part, have that later, because that's way more exciting. If it starts with just somebody talking and it looks like a nice interview, it's just like, ugh. I feel like it's
I don't know. I've seen some really cool interviews like that start like that with no like music.
That just starts with a guy talking.
Yeah.
Maybe it can be engaging. I don't know. I just feel like
it's got to be something catchy. It can't just be like.
Yeah, I just feel like when I'm doing like a restaurant or something like that, I want to start with the clips of the food first.
True.
That's what I'm thinking, and then
and then
have the.
You're not. Are you posting on social media, or do you hand that off?
I'm only the one posting on social media if I'm asked to. I just make the content. Really.
Do you guys do thumbnails for like Instagram and stuff now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See now, because I used to say
because you can upload external thumbnails to Instagram now, which I don't think it's been like that long.
No, that's pretty new. That's like it in the past
month or two.
Past few months. But the reason I'm asking is because it used to be like make sure your video catches people pretty quick.
Yeah.
And visuals and whatnot. But now I've seen so many videos where the thumbnail is out. It's like a YouTube thumbnail. It's outrageous. Like when you're scrolling through a feed or like your Instagram Explorer, and they actually click the video, and it's nothing like it at all.
It's a girl like half naked type thing.
I knew you were gonna go there.
I'm saying that's what they do though, and you click on it. It's not that. Now that I click on it. Now that I click on it.
Ben's doxing himself right now.
No, I don't click on it.
You can't because it's on your phone. He taps on it.
Yeah. But yeah, stuff like that.
It's not that you feel guilty for doing it. It's that you feel guilty for calling it the wrong thing.
Yeah, and I feel guilty for being duped when it's just some like big guy talking about like lifting weights or something.
But he still watches the whole thing.
Yeah, so that's just kind of interesting. Subscribe, follow, like, comment, share. Man.
Speaking of guys that lift things, we need to make sure to mention this so we can get more clicks. The Liver King.
Oh yeah, Liver King.
I don't have any thoughts. I felt like we just need to throw that in.
He admitted using steroids. We're a little late to this because this has been like the YouTubers the last 3 months. Not 3 months, 3 weeks on this. But yeah, he was pretty obviously on steroids the whole time and not just eating liver and lifting ancestral weights or whatever. Doing his ancestral tenets. He was also on like HGH or something. So yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious. You look at the dude; his abs look like they've been like implanted. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And he's red. He's always beat red. His skin.
That's just
the liver. Maybe the liver. Yeah. But like, you can't tell me that guy eats like bone marrow every night. I feel like it's all the character he's playing.
I don't think it's actual
to sell
muscles.
Supplements. I mean, that's his company. They're supplement companies. He just wants to sell supplements.
Listen, if you guys don't take anything else away from this podcast, it's that the world is fake.
Take steroids while you
can.
While you're young.
While you're young.
And
if you're cool with back knee, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. You don't mind putting a few holes through the drywall out of rage? Take a little bit, man.
I heard
if you want to be a cheater, do it.
I heard that steroids and Accutane are a great combination. You should try it.
Accutane is zit medication, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying you take that with steroids and it could just like they're going to combat each other?
You just explode.
Yeah. Does steroids give you acne?
Steroids?
Yeah.
It give you back knee I think so.
It ups all your testosterone, so I'm sure you get a little greasy or something.
I've never taken testosterone.
Testosterone's leaking out of you.
Ew.
I'm greasy from all this testosterone.
I don't want to make this, since we're already on this subject.
Yeah.
I once had a class
That's it.
Story over.
You once had a class.
I once had a class where we watched different videos, projects from other people.
Yeah. From people from your class? Or?
Yeah. And someone in the class, they did a like kind of like a story doc type deal on a family friend who was transitioning from a guy to a girl. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, I thought it was...
They did it on a family friend that was doing that? Okay.
Yeah. And it was incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Because in this video, they're explaining... The person in question who is in the transition is explaining like the testosterone... I think they were going from a female to a male, if I remember correctly. Okay. And they were taking testosterone.
Yeah, that would make sense if they're taking it and then turn into a guy.
And in this documentary, this person, like, the stuff that they use, you would think they would inject. Yeah. It's like a cream, like a topical ointment that they put on their shoulders.
Okay.
This is the crazy part. Like, it soaks in. That's how they get the testosterone.
Yeah.
It actually, if it goes from your hand, if you touch someone else, it can transfer.
I can just give you testosterone.
Yeah. I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's like, my mom started talking like this because I touched her with my testosterone.
We've been high-fiving a lot, and yeah, I thought that was crazy.
That is crazy. So you could just like start pranking people going down the street and just slapping them up with some tea.
Right.
Yeah.
Slapping them up with some tea. Put that on a t-shirt.
That's the next like street pranks instead of like whatever those like YouTubers do. They're just like just running by and slapping like strangers with testosterone.
It's just a prank. It's just a prank. It's just a prank.
It's automatic. Oh.
Anyway, I thought that was incredibly.
That is interesting. I didn't know. I thought it'd be like an injection.
That's what I thought, and then I was like. That was. We didn't even ask about the actual video. We all just genuinely asked about that. That was
hey,
crazy.
babe, can you put some sunscreen on me? Sure. Is this sunscreen or is this the testosterone cream? Babe, something's happening to me.
Babe.
Babe. No, babe. You used the wrong cream. I like that we think that testosterone just makes you like
it only makes your voice deeper. It does nothing else to you.
That's it. Yeah. He starts like raging and then
yeah, that's crazy.
Dude,
you're killing me.
That's not dirty.
You're killing me.
That's not dirty, dude.
I know it's not. It's just questionable.
It's not questionable. Is that questionable? I think it's a fact.
It is a fact.
People say that it does up a man.
Dude, we're a family-friendly channel. We can't be.
This is family-friendly stuff. We're talking about stuff that kids are doing on the streets.
Testosterone.
If you're out there taking it, is it up? That's all I want to know.
Ben, per legal counsel, you can. Per legal counsel, Ben cannot ask that question. Should not ask that question. Dude.
Don't send us anything.
Please. Please. Good or bad, don't send us anything. I'm asking you.
Begging.
Anyway, we got to get this back on to content.
Yeah, actually, I have another point that I was going to make about creative stuff.
All right, let's move from testosterone cream to...
Well, you brought it up.
I know, I did. That's my fault. That's my fault.
This will be a good title, though.
The Liver King testosterone cream? Is the Liver King
Yeah. That'll get us some clicks. They're like, what are they talking about?
What are we on?
The testosterone. We're on testosterone.
Yeah.
The testosterone podcast. This is that test episode. Get it?
Go ahead. You had a point.
Anyways, I was going to bring it back to our creative minds because this is something I mentioned earlier. Let's switch it to much somber, more serious.
If we weren't creative, we couldn't have gone down that rabbit trail.
So we've had a little bit of some fights at work lately.
I thought you were talking about me and you.
Some fights about creative control.
Okay.
Well, not creative control, and we're not even having fights. Let me rephrase the entire situation here.
Ben had a discussion with one person.
Yeah, I got my feelings hurt, and I'm mad. No, it's just like, so we have a boss that, he, I have like my boss's boss. I have like two bosses, but it's a boss over my boss, and he answers to somebody else up there in the food chain, I'm sure. And so, we're a nice hotel and they want to keep a luxury sort of brand. But the reason they brought me on, or one of the reasons I was at least told that they brought me on, was to make the content a little more fun and not so just like boring photos, to have some video and be engaging. And we have interns as well that do video stuff with me, and they're doing more TikTok-y, trendy type stuff, whereas I do like actual video sort of editing. And more,
you sound so old when you said that. That
sound pretentious, actual video.
That was the most pretentious
thing
that
was pretentious. That was pretentious. That's not what I mean. Their stuff does better than my stuff. You know how it goes. But the actual like camera footage, not the phone TikTok stuff, which like is a different skill in itself.
Yeah,
they're
totally
way better at the TikTok stuff than I am, and that stuff grows your account, tenfold more than actual like camera stuff. I keep saying actual, like real video stuff with f-stops.
You ever seen, dude? I know I'm all over the place tonight, which I normally am. I got a question on the Cash Cab right the other night. It was like, what's the thing in a camera? And it was aperture. And I was screaming. I looked at my mom and I was like, my degree is gone to use. I answered one question on Cash Cab correctly. And I feel like I've validated my entire college education, 4.5 years, tens of thousands of dollars.
You never get a question right on Cash Cab? Were they that hard?
This was the one I was confident in.
How often are you guys watching Cash Cab?
Not that often.
Okay.
But I just happened to be walking past, and I was like, this is where it comes in.
Right.
Go back to what you're saying.
Anyways,
I'm sorry.
what I was saying, I definitely don't want to diss the interns. Like I said, their TikTok stuff is incredible, and I'm jealous because I don't have an ear to the ground as much as they do to those things. And also, I can't edit those TikTok trends super well. I feel like it's a different kind of editing, too.
It is.
It's just a different kind of everything, but younger people are great at it, and they do that, and I do the video stuff with cameras.
Actual cameras.
And so our boss, I brought him for the fun stuff. He brought me on for the fun stuff, I assumed, to like kind of grow the account and make it seem more approachable. And yet, we posted one of the interns' TikToks the other day. That was great. They went with the trend, and they deleted it. They made us delete it and repost it with like a different sound, even though that was the trend sound and all this. And, the intern begged the question, and I also agree with her. It's like, do you guys want to grow? Are you guys wanting to grow followers and grow engagement? Or are you more worried about retaining the brand? And I think that's a good question. It's like, what's more important to you guys? I mean, like, would you rather keep your brand a luxury brand and not grow? Or would you like to grow your account, grow engagement, and play the game, play the Instagram game, play the TikTok game, and make content that's actually entertaining and that people are going to actually enjoy more than just like these kind of elegant sort of photos? And maybe there's a balance between. I think there is, but I think you need a little bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, I personally throw it at the wall and see if it sticks, and if it doesn't, then go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, for sure.
But you have to. I understand you got to keep within some guidelines.
There is some guidelines when you're working for a corporate sort of thing. Yeah,
right. But you don't want to, like, if you're going to use, if you're going to do like subtitles on like a Instagram reel or TikTok or something, you want to have like consistent fonts, kind of have a similar look.
Yeah, I mean, and we have, especially for our graphic team, our graphic designer that we just hired, actually, there are, these are the fonts, these are the colors, those kind of things that most brands have that you do want to keep up with. But as far as like,
I wouldn't let it get in the way of the content.
I wouldn't let it get in the way of the Instagram content. And I think there's room for both. I think there's room to have the stuff that's fun mixed in with the stuff that, promotes the luxury of like this hotel or this brand. In the same way, let's say even you work for a church. It's like a balance between the fun stuff that you guys may be doing at church plus actual like sermons and actual like teaching. There's a balance between, you probably want teaching and also just like community engagement or those kind of things. Yeah.
Typically I have certain days that I gear towards certain types of content. That's the best way I've found.
Yeah.
So you don't, things can kind of feel a little bit more loose. So like I haven't done it here recently just because we've been doing a bunch of transition type stuff, but like sermon clips, doing Instagram reels and stuff. Usually I would do that stuff like on a Monday or Tuesday, pretty soon after the sermon has gone out, and it's kind of like more of like I'm pushing to another platform. So I'm saying, hey, here's this like little minute long clip, go check out the full thing, and we kind of use that to promote.
Yeah, and it's like it's almost like, would you as a church Instagram or whatever be against like posting a meme on your story?
I mean, I wouldn't, but see, the problem lies is my sense of humor is not the sense of humor of other people.
Right.
So the things that I think are funny are not funny to other people. So you have to find something that's kind of like
universally sort of
right. But then you get in this issue of like, then it's very churchy comedy, and that's not funny. You know, like it's very insider language, which memes is
those
usually
can be funny
that
though.
They can be, but it's like one of the Instagram accounts I follow is Christians Who Curse Sometimes.
Yeah,
I think that stuff's really funny because it's just like it's Christian memes, but it's not like really.
They're kind of
clean.
They're kind of picking on the culture.
It's very like self-deprecating type humor.
Yeah.
And you know, churches are great at self-deprecation humor. That was sarcasm if you didn't pick up. See, I can't make that type of joke because no one gets it. So therein lies the problem.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just personally, I mean, I try to throw things at the wall and see what sticks, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But if it does, then now it's another tool added to your belt of.
Well, the thing is, we've done so many videos for the hotel that. And this is more than a hotel. It's, we got shopping and those kind of things in it as well. It's a district.
Right.
But we've done all these videos that have like been more standard, like this is this restaurant, this is the kind of food we offer, blah, blah, blah. And those never do well. They never do well. We've done like every restaurant, every like thing on property now that I've started working there. And it's like, I think we should probably stop doing this kind of content. Does it like promote luxury and all that stuff? Yes. And maybe it could be used on a website, maybe it can be used internally, like shown at the hotel, that kind of stuff. Put that on the TVs, like when you walk in, that'd be great. But it's like, this stuff isn't performing well on Instagram. And it's like, we've done 6 or 7 of it. Maybe we should like, look at the analytics here.
Yeah.
The TikTok that the girl posted doing some Google map trend in the hotel and all this stuff is doing great. Let's follow some of these trends, and maybe try to avoid these kind of docu-style videos that are not working, and maybe come back to it later and then maybe see if it works like a year later or 6 months later.
Yeah.
Or 4 months later, whatever. But maybe take a break from those things that aren't working.
I did that.
As long as it's not detrimental to the brand, it's not making fun of the brand.
Right.
Because I know like you don't want to it don't want to be a joke, and you don't want to use inappropriate music or anything like that. But it's like, I don't know. It also is Instagram. It's like, it's not the corporate website either.
Right. I mean, I guess it depends on who your demographic is, because if you're trying to go after people that are looking for a luxury, whatever,
and maybe kids aren't the ones, getting
they're not. They don't have
the hotel.
Yeah, I learned this. I hate to keep bringing this back. I learned this in school.
You learn in school
a little bit. I learned that let's see, millennials. So that'd be. People, yeah. I mean, kind of me and you are kind of.
I'm on the edge, I think.
I mean, I'm on the edge. I think you're farther into millennial than I am.
Okay.
I think I'm on the cusp.
I think I'm the last year though of millennial. Last year or two.
Brian, you're 96.
95.
You're 95. Oh, that's right. Your email. I'm gonna dox Ben's email right here.
Yeah. So 95.
Okay. Anyway, like millennials, they're the largest workforce in America. What do they have?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's just by pure numbers.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
That's not something you did. That's just numbers, factual, that there's more of you. One thing...
Sorry for being alive, dude. Seriously.
Anyway. One thing that millennials have that Gen Z and... What's the generation behind Gen Z? Whatever.
Like the newest one?
Yeah.
Like Zoogs or something like that?
That totally just made that up.
Those Zoinkies?
Generation Zoinkies. Anyway.
Placebo. Generation Placebo. Generation Vax. Let's not get into it.
You want to get into politics?
No.
We went to it on the one before, whatever.
Yeah. We got end the podcast on how that turned out.
Yeah. Oh, and that election went to a runoff, so we had to get it all over again. It was just as awful the second
ads.
time.
Yeah. More YouTube ads.
No, I learned in school that like that generation, like, they have purchasing power. So companies are going to market, even though you may look at it as a 20-something-year-old and go, this is the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life. You're not the one who has money. These adults have money. So that's who things are being marketed towards.
That's a point, you know, I didn't think about, that these really, you know, we're making stuff for like youth pretty much with using trends and stuff, and it's doing well, but are they going to buy stuff? And is that growth worth it if they're not going to turn around and make it profitable for the hotel by, you know, buying a room?
Right.
Maybe they tell their mommy and daddy to get a room, perhaps.
Yeah, but whose mom and dad are going to be like, I saw this cool thing on.
Although you'd be surprised though how many 30 and 40 something year olds are like still watching TikTok and like those trendy things. You know what I mean? Like that's everybody now. My dad's on TikTok, so it's like, you know, everybody sees the same stuff. Although, I mean, his feed probably looks a lot different than my feed,
right?
Just because of like what we've liked and things. But I don't know. I still think there's a way to follow certain trends and stuff on Instagram and TikTok where it is universally appealing, or that it's like it's not something that feels like too, you know, we're not doing like the gritty on at the hotel and posting that, but it's just, you know, it's exciting. It's like to an exciting song or whatever, and it's got some cool visual thing, and it feels like we talked about before. It feels like it's part of the app. It feels like you're just scrolling and you're not seeing an ad, but you're seeing somebody post something on Instagram.
Yeah.
That looks cool, you know?
Yeah. I just, knowing, I've had to, I mentioned on here before, like...
I'm fighting for my interns, what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, that makes you a good kind of boss.
Yeah, not really a boss. I'm more their comrade, I think. That's what I call comrade.
You're the older brother.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm like in between the intern and the boss, where I can like kind of like talk to them about
the weakest handshake.
That's how I shake people's hands in church.
That's why no one invites you.
I'm between the intern and the boss, kind of, where like they can tell me stuff like when they're like upset about it. I'm like, yeah, they do stink, man. You're right. I wish they wouldn't do that to you.
And then you turn around and go to me and you're like, man, these interns, they do not know what they're allowed.
They do not respect you. They hate you.
Just
these are all the text messages I've received in the last 24 hours. You might want to look those over.
I have consulted with my lawyer. I would press charges immediately for slander.
This is intern 1. This is intern 2. I've color coded them.
Here's my Google Sheets chart of
all those texts are timestamped, so you can see when they texted me. Some of those are a little late at night.
The blue ones are from iPhones. The green ones are from Androids.
So you just decide what you want from there, but you know what I mean? Like, you might want to just cut those green ones straight out. They have an Android, and they're posting on Instagram? I don't think so.
Looks like a potato.
What kind of emojis are they working with on that Android? You know what I mean? Do Androids have the same emojis? Don't they have different ones?
They are very similar. They're not.
But if an Android guy or an Android girl sends me...
Thanks for specifying.
Sends me an emoji to my iPhone. Yeah. Will it come as an iPhone emoji? Yeah. Or will it just come as a question mark?
It depends. Usually, if it's like if it's like a smiling while laughing type thing,
it'll convert.
Yeah. Huh. You know that you can like.
Interesting.
You can like whatchamacallits, like text messages now, like green bubble text messages. And it shows up on them.
Instead of saying Ben Sheffield sent a like.
Yeah. Okay. Now it's changed because apparently there's this whole thing between Google and Apple going back, or Android and Apple, because of the green text thing. It's like they have a lawsuit or something out. I could be totally wrong, but
she's not going to listen to this. So I'm going to say a few like quotes from my boss that she made this last week that were just funny because she's not really a video person and she just says stuff. Quote number 1. Maybe we could get one of those tripod lights.
Like a ring light?
Don't know what a tripod light is.
Just a shot in the dark.
Not sure. That one? Yeah, I think she meant like a softbox maybe or something.
Okay.
I think she just meant a light on a stand, but she said a tripod light, and I was like, And then this was another one. This is way better. That was just a little appetizer. Here's the feast. That one was you could barely make fun of that one. That was a little bit of a reach, but I'm just being mean. Here's number 2. we're like going over like what I'm gonna shoot at this like art show thing.
Yeah.
There's like a table and a centerpiece. Maybe you could get one of those wraparound shots on that table over there. And she goes like this. You can't see me, but I'm just moving my hand in a circle. Maybe you could get one of those wraparounds on the table.
What does that even mean?
Like, do you mean
just like a 360?
Yeah, I guess so. Just get like a full circle shot, I guess. A full 360.
Like put it on a Lazy Susan and spin it, or just walk around?
I think just walk around it, but I didn't have like a Ronin or anything. I was like, you want it's like a shaky shot?
The shot's just whoa.
Yeah, I was handheld, so I was just like, you want me to just walk around the table with this handheld?
But keep it in 60 frames and don't put it in slow-mo. Yeah, just make everyone vomit who's watching it.
No, both of those I guess were kind of reaches. Maybe I'm just being mean. I understand.
Yeah, you are.
You understand what they're saying, what she's saying.
Yeah, kind of. I understand what she's going for.
But you know what I mean. It's funny though. Those are great examples of people that don't work in like video and they're like trying to explain to you stuff and you're like, what? Because it's happened to like for years to me. Can you splice that into like some kind of transition or like what do you call it when like it goes underneath the other thing? Can you do that? You know, stuff like that. And it's like, you mean like a cross dissolve? No, that can't be it. No.
I'm
It's
not
like,
religious.
You know, like when like something starts and then the other one kind of just comes underneath, just comes right underneath that one, and then it comes to the front.
I don't even explain it. I go, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
And you just go in and do it. There's no point. They're not going to get it.
I just don't even respond. I put AirPods in and I don't even play.
You just walk away?
No, I don't even play music at my desk. And I hear them sometimes. They'll be like, Ben, something. And I'll just like stare straight forward. Hopefully they don't listen to this at all. Because I'll be like, you lazy piece of junk. I do eventually respond if it's something important. But if it's just like them trying to talk to me about like personal life stuff, which it is most of the time, I'm just like, Ben probably thinks this, or Ben would do that, trying to get like me to respond. And I just stare straight ahead. I don't want to talk about it.
I say it's more about you than, about them.
That I am mean.
Yeah, that you don't know how to foster interpersonal relationships.
I don't like talking about personal stuff at work, man. I just want to like clock in and clock out, dude.
Well, yeah, I guess. Hey, the battery's almost dead on the camera.
Well, it's not even like personal stuff. It's like
battery's almost dead on the camera.
Okay, well, I think we've gotten a good bit.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's like the old
subscribe to the podcast if you want to hear the rest of the podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I just almost vomited into the microphone.
Maybe I am I am a little mean sometimes, but it's because I don't want to be there to begin with, and I just like kind of take it out on everybody else. I think I'm a little mean little boy. I need to work on that. I need to work on my attitude. I always warm up. It's that like 9 to 11 a.m. Time frame that I'm a little
Welcome
icy.
to therapy with Ben Sheffield.
I'm sorry. I want to apologize because I feel bad now that I've said it out loud that I just ignore people. But I can't get into working editing, and that's really what I'm typically doing. And I do put the AirPods in with no music when I'm editing just because, you're playing music back sometimes or sounds back from the edit. So I don't play music in them.
Well, my office...
But I just want to focus. I want to focus. I want to get stuff done. And when you're asking me about dating or whatever, I can't finish.
Now you're kind of in an open office setup.
No, man. Well, yeah, it's open, but like everybody's so close to me. Like I could back up 2 inches and hit a girl's desk or hit a girl's chair.
Well, I'm saying like you're kind of in cubicles.
I'm having a hard time. I'm too close to these people. What? Yeah, it's open though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So like,
there's no cubicles.
Oh, there's not. I thought you kind of had cubicles.
No, I have a little like border between me and a door so that people don't like just run into me pretty much. Okay. And it's kind of like a cubicle wall.
But like it's a half wall type thing?
Yeah, it's just like a half wall thing. It's not. There's nothing in between me and the other people in my squad.
Gotcha.
What do you call it?
Team?
Yeah.
Work group?
My associates.
My associates. Because my office is in the back of our building.
Yeah.
And I'm sandwiched between 2 other offices.
Sandwich.
But it's a private office.
Yeah.
Kind of. I have a back door so I can escape out the back if I want to. I have done that. So I'm going to confess real quick.
Uh-oh.
There have been times where I have my headphones off or not on or just not playing anything. and my door's open and I hear people come into the front of the office.
And they say, Micah?
And nope, they don't say my name, but I hear their tone of voice and I find anything else to do but be in that building.
And they go, I wish somebody were here to help me. There has to be someone in this office working.
And by that time, I'm like 20 yards out the door. I just open up that back door and take off.
Now I feel bad. I feel bad about saying that. I feel bad about saying that I've ignored
too late.
It's too late.
You don't feel bad because that's how you feel.
It's not that I don't like them. It really is. I just have this. I'm not as friendly at work as I should be.
Listen, sometimes. I've been friends with Ben for a long time.
Sometimes I'm a little. I just want to get the work done, and
I've been friends with Ben for a long time. Okay, there's not many people that he really dislikes.
Thanks. Yeah.
For the most part.
I get along with everybody.
He's not mad at you. He just enjoys his peace.
I do. I enjoy my peace.
He enjoys his personal space. Mm-hmm. He enjoys his alone time.
Thanks. Yep.
It's not a personal thing. He doesn't hate you.
No,
most likely.
And at lunch, when I go to lunch at work, I put in AirPods and I listen to a podcast.
That's you time, dude.
In the cafeteria, though, I'm surrounded by people and they're all trying to talk to each other at lunch. And I just don't want to talk to you at lunch. Like, that's my time alone. And I know what you're thinking, Ben, you already had the time alone because you were ignoring people at your desk. But they were there and they were constantly talking.
That was time alone, but with other people.
I only ignore them when it's a question that is of no consequence. If it's one actually work directed and they're like, hey, Ben, can you do this? I'll respond. I'm not like a bad employee.
Don't you think they would have picked up on that by now?
Not a bad employee.
That you only respond to work-related questions? Also, does your upstairs neighbor weigh 500 pounds?
I think it's some children.
They are stomping.
But yeah, well, it's not even like questions about like, who are you dating, Ben? But they'll...
as if it's a rotating door.
No,
it's been the same girl for
4 months.
Yeah,
but no, this my boss will just say stuff like and Ben probably thinks that, or like something to like kind of coax me to say something. It's not really a directed question, but it's like, I know you want me to chime in, but I'm not taking the bait because I don't like to be manipulated. Okay. Just ask me the question straight up if you want to answer.
He doesn't like to be manipulated, yet he spent $200 on a watch that he saw John Mayer.
I could sell it for double the cost that I bought it for right now on eBay or StockX.
You want to rant some more about your watch? What company?
It's a G-Shock. It's a Casio G-Shock. It's not a fancy watch or anything like that, okay? It's a fun watch. It's a matte blue. It's actually... modeled after the same color schemes as one of those old Casio keyboards from the 80s. This is the third in the collection that John Mayer's released with Hodinkee. This beautiful G-Shock collab. The box was beautiful. It's baby blue.
You see how effortlessly he went into like that promo voice?
The box is baby blue. Came with a little blue pillow, all the same color. I think it's the best colorway they've released, and with the accents of the little green and the pink on the face. It really just makes me happy. It's like a new toy right at Christmas, and I think it's a nice little prize to treat yourself post 25 years old. You know, we're at that age where we just want to buy ourselves gifts, and I think this is a nice one to just stare at and look at. And also, you know what's fun about this one and fun about most Casios? It got that little illumination light. When you're in the dark, you just want to see it. And sometimes I'm not even in the dark. I'm just in the middle of the daylight, and I just press that little button and let that light flicker, and I don't know, it brings me a little joy inside. The little light flickers in my heart when the illumination comes on in this little Casio. And I think it looks great. I think it's a little more, maybe geared a little more towards streetwear. I think if I'm wearing something a little more urban than I'm wearing right now, because I'm wearing boots and a flannel, I'm a little embracing my country roots right now. But I think if I was wearing maybe something, some Nike Blazers or perhaps some waffle trainers and some joggers and maybe an oversized tee, and I had this thing slapped on the wrist, it'd really be a bomb fit, as the kids would say. I'm done.
Bro, what are you talking about? I don't think you took a breath in that entire thing.
Oh, I am excited.
Guys, that was off the dome. Like, he stared into space when he said that.
Well, I just got the watch today. I was just excited about it. It came with a little magazine. I'm not mean to the people I work with, okay? I feel bad about that.
Okay.
I feel bad about that. I know I've beat this horse to death, but I just want to apologize to anybody.
Oh, so now he's meeting other employees and he beats animals. Cool.
I do like talking to them post-lunch.
I do like beating animals.
Post-lunch, I will get into some freestyle conversation. And we don't have to say to work-related topics. We can talk about whatever we want. But when it's between 8 or 9 to noon, Ben's not in the best mood. I don't want to talk. I just want to zone in. Give me a few things to work on. Let me pass the time. Because that pre-lunch just never
pre-lunch
fun for
is
me.
rough.
Never fun for me. Once I hit that lunch stride, I'm good. And I'm ready to have a good time at work. But, yeah. Unless everybody's like super chill one day and they were like, we didn't have anything to work on. Let's just hang out and maybe play finger football or something. Then I'd be like, this is cool. Let's hang out. Let's just have like a Friday.
And that's when
Friday.
Ben will finally find purpose in his job.
I think you have to have balance. You got to have work-life balance. And maybe you got to have some work balance at work.
Yeah. I agree.
Maybe at work I need to be more fun at work, and maybe that would bring me more joy. Maybe I need to embrace my job more and stop being a little stick in the mud.
Do you think baby boomers were saying that when they were
Boomers?
like
Baby boomers?
You think baby boomers? You think baby boomers were saying that when they were like
working in sweatshops?
Yeah.
Sweatshops. That's not what they're working in.
No.
Factories. But
me and
they
you
were sweating in factories.
Me and you were over here complaining about, I just don't feel like we're having enough fun at the workplace.
And I'm just like staring at a computer all day.
Yeah.
Looking at Instagram on my phone, getting paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is half the job is literally looking at Instagram. So, I mean,
working or not
I'm
working.
doing working.
Right.
But I'm doing working.
There it is, folks.
Ben, what are you doing? I'm doing working right now. No, I shouldn't complain about the job. I shouldn't complain. I should really embrace it. Maybe this next week, my goal, right before Christmas, I'm in the holiday spear. Yeah, I just said that, and I made the word longer than it needed to be. I'm going to just have a good time at work, maybe conversate and say, hey, how was your weekend?
This is the week that Ben gets fired.
I just feel bad about it now that I've actually said it out loud, that I act that way.
No, too late.
But I do act that way.
Right.
And I'm not the only one. I can't.
Oh, now he's throwing everybody else under the bus.
No, not in my team. I think they're all pretty chip. But I'm saying, like, as far as the workforce in general, I can't be the only guy that goes to work and just wants to get his work done and doesn't really want to talk to anybody.
Right. That's why I leave early a lot of days. If you're salary, get the job done and go home.
Yeah, and I'm hourly.
Doesn't matter if I'm there till 5.
I'm hourly. After I get to lunch, I always check my phone. I'm like, okay, I'm 3 in, or I'm 4 in. Okay.
That's why I take super late lunches. Like for a while there, I wasn't going to lunch until like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. But when I was working at Kroger way back in the day, I did the same thing. Like I never got halfway through my shift and ate lunch. I usually got like when I knew I had like an hour and a half or 2 hours left.
Well, because I'm hourly, I like to take like a 15-minute lunch. I like to eat real quick and then get back to work, so I don't have to, so I can leave earlier and take just a quick little lunch.
You get 30 minutes?
Yeah, you get 30. Ideally, you can take whatever.
Oh.
Take an hour lunch, whatever you want to do. But you're gonna have to work.
Go to the Bahamas.
You're gonna have to work that extra hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't I take an hour lunch? So I take like 15, or like I've taken like 9 before.
But you went to public school, so you're used to just sucking that down and just going.
I was about to say inflated it. I inflated that food. No, I ingested that food real quick, and yeah, because we have a cafeteria at work, so I just go downstairs to the cafeteria, clock in, eat that Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes or whatever they get me.
He doesn't even look.
Give me a little Minute Maid.
He just mashes it.
I'm like, I think it's steak. I think it, or it could be chicken. I don't know what it is. It's covered in gravy. I slop it down my gullet. And then I'm back to work. I go right back upstairs, sit at my little desk. I will say this though. I talk more to the interns probably than my boss though, because there's not that pressure and that like.
I wish I had an intern.
They're not judging me.
It sounds like, it sounds like a fun time.
Interns are rad, and they are like so excited to be there. They always make me feel like bad about not being as stoked, because they're stoked to be there and they're getting paid whatever, and they're stoked to be there, and they have so much drive because they're not even finished with college. They have so much drive
Yeah, but life
I'm
hasn't punched me in the face yet.
I'm like, I'm 3 jobs in now, and I'm getting a little bit jaded. And then this intern comes in just with all these fresh ideas, and then you think, dang, they're kind of better at this than I am. I got to step up my game to match this intern. And that's how it was at the when I got my buddy.
Oh, I got to bleep that.
Well, that's what I said when I was working for the baseball team.
No, it doesn't. I'm going to bleep it anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well,
you just took that. I mean, we'll see how it works in the edit. I might cut around it.
Well, that's what I said when I worked for the baseball team. That's what I said when I worked for the baseball team, when I had my buddy, now my good friend, and I was his best man at his wedding, Elias Davasto. He was my intern when I worked there, and he I think we amped each other up, but we were always pushing each other, and it was so good that he was there, because I would be like, I sometimes can be a little lazy about like, oh, I'll shoot this and I won't bring the lights. Or I'll do it and I'll only bring 1 lens or whatever. And he'd be like, "Oh, we bring the 3 lenses." Or like, "Let's set up the lights for it." And like, he'd be like, "Yeah, you're right. Let's do it." And then we have 2 of us. Let's just do the whole thing. And so we'd always kind of like push each other to like go a little harder on the production. You know, it's like, let's figure out how to do this like Stranger Things graphic or whatever for this video instead of just making some dumb highlight video or whatever, you know. And so I think it's good to have interns. Good to have those young people that got that fire in their belly. They're ready to take on the world. They're ready to impress. Because I think sometimes I'm like, you get to the point where you're done like a billion videos and you're like, oh man, I'm just like out of gas. I'm out of juice. I'm out of creative, like what to do differently.
That's when you just got to go on vacation.
Is that what I'm missing?
I think so. I haven't gone on vacation.
You went on vacation just the other day. You spent a night in a hotel.
I haven't been on, that was out of nowhere. I haven't been on vacation in a few years. Ben is losing it, guys. We're going to have to cut this pretty soon. I'm not even, you know what? We're cutting it. I am not even that story. We're done. We're done. I'm cutting it. It's too late. I'm going to go to bed.
What song are you going to put on?
I think I'm going to do the Parachute song. This is
not by the band Parachute, but
no, there's a band named Parachute.
I like the band.
This is by Vacation Manor. The song is called Parachute. It very much fits in the sad boy realm of music that I've been on a kick, and you've probably heard me play multiple times. I'm not depressed, just my music choice is. So.
And I promise to be a little happier and have some giggles and chuckles at work this next week. And when we check back in on the podcast, whenever we do it, probably in the new year sometime, we'll see if I've done that, or if I'm still a little sad little Scrooge.
Hopefully we will be able to go over some New Year's resolutions.
We're recording a podcast on Christmas night. That's what we'll do.
Hey, might as well.
We'll get together on Christmas night, put our little jams on, and do a little podcast, watch a Christmas movie.
But we never hit record. We just enjoy a night in. We just
enjoy it. And we're like, and I'm like, Micah, did you turn it on? And he said, nope.
No.
Didn't record. Just hanging out. And he said, why was I holding his microphone the whole time?
Now my arm is tired. Anyway, so this is... It's so late at night.
Cut it. Just cut it. Just cut the whole thing.
This is
let's start from scratch. Start from the 1. Delete the whole thing.
This is Parachute by Vacation Manor.
We're gonna get canceled by a sponsor.
All right. See you next time.
All right. I see you.